What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I did want to jump on the PS2 again here for one of my other favorite childhood games. And before you guys say it, there is going to be more videos of other games coming as well. This is going to include something like Burnout Revenge, Burnout 3 as well. We're also going to have something like Midnight Club 3, Underground 2, and multiple other games also coming. So do stay tuned for those in the future. But in this, though, I did want to jump on one of my favorite childhood games I ever played back in the day, ATV Offroad Fury 2. Now, I don't know if you guys did end up seeing the video on Offroad Fury 3, but I will leave a tag on the screen for that one. That game was going to be a favorite of mine. I did enjoy it, do not get me wrong, but I gotta admit it, I really did like Offroad Fury 2 more, and honestly, I feel like there's a few different things. I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but I really love the way the ATVs handled in this game, and also, this game was also along the lines of something that Offroad Fury 3 and 4 never had in it, which is going to be real ATVs as well. We have Honda, Kawasaki. Very cool how those actually made an appearance in this game. Now, I understand that there is going to be something like the Bombarder and something like the Banshee, but it's not called the Banshee. But it is, you know, a Banshee from clearly looking at it, which is kind of funny. But either way, though, I did like the way the ATVs in this game were compared to Offroad Fury 3. I like the design of them, the different types they had in here. I feel like they were honestly better, which I feel like people would end up agreeing with. I did like the fact that we have actual, like, again, ATVs like the Kawasaki KFX. That thing I really did love. In fact, one of my dreams, I even had a die-cast version of it, was a KFX 450, which is something they have not made in like 11 years or something like that. But I really did love that quad, so when I was playing this back in the day, I always used the KFX 700. I did also find myself using the BS 6000, which is like the final quad you can get. Super rare, obviously not hard to get if you guys use the cheats and stuff, which I kind of ended up doing that. Just so I can experience the ATVs early on. I could, you know, go in and grind everything out, but I was like, you know what, man, I want to go in, I want to just try out some of these quads again. There is a lot of them in this game, and I feel like a lot of people probably would love the different options they can use. On top of that, you'll have like the racing versions of them, which do kind of resemble the actual ATVs in a way with, you know, like Kawasaki or Honda, but they will end up having like upgraded looking suspension, different things like that on them, so there is a choice there. Now, with this game, similar to Offroad Fury 3, though, you will end up having the Supercross, National, also point-to-point races. You can make your own point-to-point events, which is something I really haven't dabbled in that much in this game. But one thing I did love, I did really enjoy the point-to-point events on this game. Now, in this, though, again, I do know people are wondering, it's not the point-to-point races you guys would see in Offroad Fury 4. It's more of like the waypoint thing that you would see in Offroad Fury 3. And I do admit they were really fun, but also I do kind of feel like ATV Offroad Fury 3 had a few updates to it. Like, for example, when you would hit a checkpoint in this, you wouldn't actually know where the other one is until you go through that checkpoint. So if it is going to be a sharp turn, you might end up trying to probably fly straight or something, but it's obviously to the right, so you miss it. Little small thing there, not really a big deal. This is also me pretty much doing the regular events that were made in the game, so you could go in there and make one if you wanted to. But I do feel like one of the biggest highlights of this game was pretty much along the lines of the really big fun factor of a lot of the tracks in the game, which I would probably say is the biggest factor. And also, I love the free roam in these games as well, kind of just messing around on the maps and stuff like that and trying to find stuff was also really fun. But I would say a lot of players would probably end up enjoying like the amateur and pro nationals, different tracks on both sides of that, including the supercross, which is also, you know, amateur and also pro, alongside these short tracks as well, which are going to be short, you know, kind of the name of the short track there. I did probably really enjoy the national tracks more because you were flying, doing like 50, 60 plus miles an hour, flying over some of the biggest jumps you probably have ever seen on an ATV, and it made it even crazier. One of my favorite quads in this game, if you guys were wondering, was probably the Banshee. Dude, I love Banshees so much. Yamaha had a crazy dime piece back then when they were making that thing. A two-stroke, a 300cc, 350cc as well. They were absolute monsters. Could hit like 100 miles an hour with no issues. I love them. One day I will definitely have another one, or at least have one, because I'm thinking of the one I have in the game. But either way, guys, I really do feel like Offroad Fury 2 for me now. I did say this in the Offroad Fury 3 video. I kind of like this game more than the third one. I don't know if it was along the lines of how this game flowed, maybe the real quads, maybe the way the tracks were, the handling. I don't really know. But for some odd reason, I did like Offroad Fury 2 more, and I might be thinking maybe it's along the lines of that game kind of just missing a few things this one had, or maybe it was like a different approach to it, or it was kind of similar to this one. They did end up having the regular ATVs in there that they did create and stuff. I don't really know if that played a factor in there. I kind of also like the tracks and stuff more in Offroad Fury 2. In this game, the way it flowed, just, free driving around the map and messing around, or trying to find your favorite track and stuff. It just hits so much, dude. And the fact this game came out in 2002 is just, it's so weird on how old some of these games are, but yet they still look so dang good. And that's kind of why I have the entire, screen of the game on 4:3, because that's how the PS2 captured it. And it looked a lot better. Yeah, you could put it on 16.9, but if you stretch out a PS2 footage of a game like that, which I'm talking about the console, obviously on an emulator it would probably look different because it's an emulator, but on the actual console itself, a lot of the games pretty much had to be in 4:3 as they look way better, and you pretty much were not stretching them out trying to make them fit the entire screen because, yeah, PS2s really weren't designed for that. But I gotta admit, guys, if you haven't played any of the Offroad Fury series, I really would recommend jumping on them and trying them out. If I had to rate them, I'm gonna be real and say 4 is probably number 1. Offroad Fury 2 is 2, and then 3 is 3, and then obviously the first game is probably number 4. That's kind of like the way I would rank them. Do let me know which Offroad Fury game was your favorite in the comments below. I might end up doing more videos on this entire series, like comparing each one, talking about different things about each game I liked, disliked, all that stuff. But either way, guys, these games are such a classic. They really still live up to it too, man. Like, if you never played one, or if you have not played one in like 15 years, if you jump back onto it, dude, it's gonna legit hit you right in the face like it did to me. I had such a great time with this, and people are like, yo, maybe your nostalgic glasses might be hitting you. And yes, that can be true on certain games, as I admit, I did feel that with the third game a bit, as it wasn't as good as I thought it was. No, but dude, Offroad Fury 2, bro, it hit in every single area. I do remember back in the day using some of my favorite quads back then, messing with the different camera angles. First person view was really funny. I did not even know that was in the game. And for something that's 20 years old, it honestly doesn't look that bad either. And one of the funnest things I even experienced playing this game again probably 20 years later was along the lines of me trying to figure out the tracks again and actually hit the jumps right. I would then preload, miss a jump, also in the Supercross and National, kind of both sides of it. I'm like, oh, I have to preload more there, or I'm not doing it enough, or I completely miss the jump, or I completely overshoot it as well. So it's kind of like a fun learning curve alongside of the overall good experience the old Offroad Fury games really did capture. Do let me know your thoughts on Offroad Fury 2 in the comments below, and also, which game in this series is your favorite and why? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below.